So we've been getting into some core Baldur's Gate tactics. Starting out, BG1, a couple of considerations to keep in mind. And in this podcast, we've been working our way through the various class kits. We're going to go like one step before, I was going to say one step below, kind of pre-class. Kind of some fundamental things to keep in mind in the game as you make your way through, regardless of the race you play, regardless of the class, regardless of alignment. Alignment is important in a couple of areas, simply for spell use and for the availability of certain magic items. But ultimately, there's two factors. Two or three factors, 2.5 factors to keep in mind. The first is distance is very, very important in this game. I mean, physically on the device you're playing it, whether it's a mouse or just kind of pushing around with your finger, you direct the direction and location real time of your characters. At the same time, the monsters, they're going to move. Now, often it's a very simple AI path, as in what's the shortest distance, move and engage, or just kind of sit there and pop off a list of spells. But occasionally how things move and where your character is, if you pause the screen and physically draw lines, you can see the path of engagement. If there are real-time objects in the way, trees, rocks, dungeon walls, they're going to trace that path to the least resistance to it. Simple AI, effective AI, but real-time AI. So speed is vital in the game. Speed is important because that's going to allow you to, as these mobs come in, possibly if you're a fighter and you're not a ranged character, either in terms of missile weapons or in terms of spells, you might want to get to a certain monster and take it out. You might want to be able to withdraw your party, even if you're a spellcaster in the back and, you've got mirror image up, you've got blur up, you've got stone skin up, shields up, you got everything going on. Stuff mobs you only have so many hit points. Even if you're a sorcerer or dragon disciple, which has a bigger hit point pool, you still only have so many hit points. So speed is vital. Maybe you get that through a haste spell. Maybe you get that through certain items on there. But early on, or at least early on enough as you explore the game, you have to get your base movement up because it is physically moving. And you certainly don't want to become weighed down with items where you're moving at half speed or quarter speed on there. I mean, maybe if there's nothing else to kill and you're leaving a dungeon and you're going to kind of hug the walls to run out, but generally you want to get your speed up. The second is buffs. You need to be able to buff things up. And spell management is a completely different aspect. We're going to touch that. We're going to get into that. But mastering potions is key. Now, okay, yes, if you've been playing the game a lot and you know the various story arcs and what you have to accomplish and what you don't have to accomplish, you could never use potions. They make things much easier. And for certain fights, the temporary buffs on there, they are really, really necessary. Whether it's buffing strength, the three kind of areas to buff on this for potions without giving away any spoilers. And of course, you're not going to pop these off if it's just a normal encounter. You're going to utilize this like for a lieutenant or a boss or one of the major fights in the game or some of the opposing parties that you'll find and fight. This is a good time to do it. Strength potions to boost your strength. That's going to boost your damage output. Defensive potions that either give you some more hit points or possibly are going to reduce your armor class or give you some resistances. Those are important. And then potions that are going to allow you to block magic. They're very expensive in Baldur's Gate 1 in terms of potions. There is a somewhat limited availability in addition to possibly randomly coming across a few, but you can't count on that as much. Those, when you hit certain fights, it might take you by surprise and you might have to hit that reload. But magic blocking and magic resistance is huge in Baldur's Gate 1 because you don't effectively have anything to counter some of the higher level stuff. Obviously, there's an NPC that you can take. She has magic resistance stock on there, but not the rest of your party. There are some magic items that are going to give you some base resistances to magic on there. But again, single digit, lower digit numbers on there. The only way to do it is either boost it to 50 through some of these potions, or for a very, very short window, boost it to 100%. So regardless of whether you're making a solo run or you're going to do a party or a half party, what your character is going to be, what class, what's the leveling up going to take place, the speed and the ability to manipulate with potions, that's going to be going on regardless of whatever class you play.